Alright guys, it's gotten to that time of the year again. We've had a good year of Yu-Gi-Oh! We've had a fun year of Yu-Gi-Oh! We've had so many decks do really well. Otto Geist, Sky Striker, Thunder Dragons, Magicians, Trickstar, Burning Abyss, Invoked, all sorts of decks have done really, really well this year. But it's time to give my thoughts and opinions on what will be the best decks going into 2019. So, guys, this list may change depending on ban lists, it may change depending on sets, it may change depending on many different things, but if you guys want to give your lists before this video actually starts, don't press the like button. Go comment in the comment section below telling me your lists, see if our lists differ depending on what you've written in the comment section. Just give me all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, because obviously everyone's lists will be different, and honestly guys, it's been a good year of Yu-Gi-Oh! As well for you guys and me, so hopefully you guys will be sticking around for the new year. But without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about the 10 best decks going into 2019. So for number 10, we have Invoked McKnight. Now, Invoked McKnight is a deck that will always have some relevance in the game. It's a deck that just be able to utilize many different mechanics. It's able to utilize the link mechanic. It's able to utilize the just special summon from hand mechanic thanks to McKnight, and it's able to utilize the link mechanic very, very well. And because of this, it's able to utilize so many different things, such as Purgatorio to be able to just OTK your opponent, Mechaba to just be able to negate your opponent's stuff, using Madness to be able to make 2 Mechaba or 2 Purgatorio, for instance. Like these are things you can do in the deck, and it's not really and it's kind of dumb how you can do these things in the deck. So all these decks will have the potential that they need, that they have, and it's something that Invoked McKnights are still able to utilize all the McKnights as well, such as Blue Sky, Indigo, Purple Nightfall, and Indigo Eclipse, that will be able to just OTK your opponent and be able to just do so much more. And it's a basically it's a deck that will be able to always be able to build a board of a certain amount of negates. It's able to utilize tons of hand traps very easily, and it's able to OTK, so it's able to always prevent your opponent. And it's a deck that will always be able to do this, and it's a deck that will still going into the new year still be able to do these things. So there's no reason why the deck will not be a good deck going into 2019. So at number 10 we have Invoked McKnight. For number 9 though, we have Prank Kids. Now, Prank Kids, a new deck that was released in Hidden Summoners, was able to win on YCS, was able to still do really good at other events. It's a deck that's still able to do a lot of different things, and in my personal opinion, it will be the 9th best deck going into the year. It's a deck that gains tons of advantage just from doing what the deck does normally, link summoning and fusion summoning, being able to gain additional advantage just by literally making a link monster, make the Cock-a-doodle-doo, summon 2 monsters and get a search. That's a +2. That's a +2 because you get the Cock-a-doodle-doo, and you get an additional monster for using 2 monsters, and you still have 2 monsters coming out the deck. It's a deck that will always be able to utilize a ton of advantage. It always gains tons of advantage just from doing what the deck will normally do. Plus, the deck is able to make a Raigeki during your opponent's turn to be able to disrupt them, or a Harpy's Feather Duster during your opponent's turn to essentially be like, I like that set 5 of yours. It's gone. It's gone. It's done. It's gone. Bye. And it's a deck that will basically always be able to do this. It's a deck that will always basically be able to utilize stuff such as Raigeki, its own Raigeki, its multiple advantage. It can generate tokens as well. It can fusion summon during your opponent's turn, link summon during your opponent's turn, decrease attack points, increase attack points, and it's a deck that also is able to stall for time very easily. Like, seriously. Activate drops, activate lamps. I'm 1500 higher, you're 1500 lower. Time on the route. I won with Prank Kids. And it's just a deck that will always be able to utilize a lot of its own mechanics. So Prank Kids, definitely a deck that will be really, really good going into the new year at the 9th spot. So yeah, Prank Kids number 9. Let's go on to number 8. So for number 8, I chose Burning Abyss. Now, Burning Abyss is the deck that will never die. It's been around for, what, 5 years now? 5 years? Being able to just utilize tons of boss monsters, being able to utilize stuff like Searing, Graph, and Rhino, and Tour Guide to go even further beyond, being able to use Dante to just mill out, Light of Sekka to draw more cards, and Light of Sekka came out this year as well, giving it a pot of greed. The deck is just able to do so much in its own right that it's going to be good no matter what you do, and it's going to be in that position where, basically, I'm a deck that just utilizes tons of boss monsters such as Hydralander, Beatrice, Boral Sword, Boral Load, Dante, did I say Hydralander? And also able to utilize tons of combo pieces such as Malicious, Silcatus, Fairy Tail, Snow, I believe it's using Destruder as well, and it's just able to go further and further and further with its combo plays, being able to just OTK your opponent really, really easy, being able to just kaiju them as well to then stop them from playing the game if they're playing Sky Striker, and then just go, and it was able to do so much this year. It topped multiple YCSs, it won a YCS, I believe, and it's just a deck that will always be somewhat relevant because it's a deck that says, I'm gonna do stuff. I'm literally just gonna say, I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna win this game. And because of that, I guess I'm good at the game. Yeah? I guess I'm good at the game. And it's just a deck that basically utilizes tons of boss monsters, Pot of Greeds, and just so many different things that the deck, and even in this year, we'll probably get Cherubini, which will give this deck even more power and even more link spam and even more cards such as that, and it will just be able to generate much more advantage. It will be able to do so much more in this year that it's a deck that I personally can't say that it won't be a deck in the new year that will be a good deck. So definitely, number 8 will go to Burning Abyss because it's just a deck that does so much combos. It's a deck that does so much different things. It's a deck that does all sorts of different stuff, and it's a deck that will always be able to utilize this and always be able to just go further and further beyond. And yes, there's a hairbrush here. My hair is just becoming messier and messier. Deal with it. But Burning Abyss will keep going further and further beyond, so there's no reason why it won't be on this list. Being able to link spam, being able to use boss monsters, and just being able to combo off any sort of thing, it's a deck that will do it. It's a deck that will go further and further. So, number 8 goes to Burning Abyss, but for number 7, I have Lolly.deck Trickstars. Trickstars is a deck that will definitely be around for a long time as well. It's a deck that just utilizes so much, such as being a 1-card engine, being able to normal summon a Candina to search a light stage, then light stage searches Lycoris, and then summon the Lycoris and then just burn for 100 in time as well. Time on the round! And it being able to just also hand loop your opponent. Hand looping. Go away, hand looping. You shouldn't be around. But being that it's still a deck that's able to hand loop your opponent using cards such as Reincarnation and Droll and Lockbird, is a deck that will do really well even in this sort of situation as well. And also, there's more reasons to why the deck is still going to do a lot. The deck is able to utilize Scapegoat, Token, Link Spam, Floodgates such as Rivalry and Gozen, and also it's getting a new Link monster coming out soon that will also say, when your opponent summons a monster, burn. Time on the round! Honestly, guys, it's just getting to that point where Trickstars are able to burn for absolutely everything, and they're a deck that will continuously go further and further and further, and will be good as long as Reincarnation is up free, and it's a deck that will just keep going on and on and on. Plus, it's also a 1-card engine that can utilize Sky Strikers, McKnights, and all sorts, so the deck will still be around going into the new year as one of the best decks in the year, and it's definitely in the number 7 spot. I wouldn't put it higher than this because I don't feel like it would get further than this. But yeah, so number 7 goes to Trickstar. Let's go on to number 6. So for number 6, we have Solomon Great. Now, Solomon Great is a new deck coming out in the new year. Obviously, it's already out. We've got the Ritual Monster and a few little monsters, and we've also got the Link Free. But But going into the new year, we'll be getting a lot more support. We'll be getting the new fusion monster that allows you to OTK your opponent. We'll be getting Phalanx that allows you to search the field spell plus prevent your link monster from being destroyed. We'll be getting the Link 2 that can recycle your monsters from the graveyard and spells and traps from the graveyard. We'll be getting a Searcher for all Solomon Great cards, so also Preventer, which will protect your link monsters from being affected by other effects. And we'll also be getting an Invoker that lets you summon any Solomon Great from the deck. So we'll be getting tons more for support for this deck that basically will allow you to break any board that your opponent has, build any board you want, and just essentially say, well, I am a good deck now, and I'm an anime deck. Anime decks are getting more and more powerful as the years go on. So Solomon Great will definitely be a very good deck going into the new year, being a deck that can just break any board, being a deck that can just build any board, being a deck that can just OTK very easily, I might add. Like, I've done some test duels with this deck, and oh my god, how easy it is to OTK in this damn deck is unreal. And just seeing as we keep going further and further and further into the new year, it will keep getting better and better and better. So it's another one of those decks that will keep getting more and more support and will just get better as it goes along. So that's number 6. Solomon Great definitely will be a very good deck going further into the year. So for number 5 though, the top 5, the 5 best decks going into the year. For number 5, I have Pendulums. Now, Pendulums in general will always be a deck that will have some sort of relevance in the game as well. It's able to build a board of 5 negates, for Christ's sake, and being a deck any deck that can build 5 negates, is that fair? Is that fair to you? No. And it's fairly easy to do as well. And this deck also can do other things outside of that. You can utilize Thunder Dragons, such as the normal Thunder Dragon, to be able to make double Colossus on your own turn so your opponent can't search cards. You can, and still be able to make a Vortex along with that, I might add. And you can also utilize stuff like the Zephyr stuff to be able to get another negate with Zephyr Divine Strike. And you can also, and it's just the fact that the deck still has so much in it that it can still utilize all the Pendulum cards, Magician cards, and still utilize all stuff like Electromite, Boral Sword, Wee Witch's Apprentice to give your monster the boost, Dark Rebellion, Supreme King Dark Rebellion, Xyz Dragon to just go for an OTK, and the deck just still has so much in it. The deck still has so much power, so much potential that I'm not joking when this deck will be in the top 5 best decks of the year as well. Like, I'm going to go back to them for a bit as well, guys. For you guys who love my Pendulum Magicians, you're gonna see a new Pendulum Magician build, and I'm gonna break it again, and I'm gonna do amazing with it again because Pendulum Magicians are just fun as hell and great to play. So this deck will always do really well. Plus, it's able to even make Roingo now. It's not hard to make it 40 cards, Triff. It's not hard to make it 40 cards. Just make it 40 cards, be a good Yu-Gi-Oh player. You're not the Pendulum God. I am. But yeah, Magicians will definitely be another deck that would go further and further and further as we go into the new year, and it's a deck that will still be able to play really, really well. So that's number 5. Let's go on to number 4. So number 4 is basically Roingo decks. Roingo decks in general, decks such as my hero build, Goki, Dark Warrior, anything that can make a Roingo Boingo or hand loop your opponent for 6 is a deck that will go into this category. Now, I could have made every deck on this list a Roingo deck, but would you want to see 4 or 5 decks that can make Roingo on a single list? No. So the 4th best decks, in my opinion, are Roingo decks. Basically, the Roingo Boingo deck is just an OTK or FTK to some people that says I'm gonna make Roingo. I'm gonna make Roingo. I'm gonna hand loop you for 6 if I can't, and I'm just gonna keep going further and further and further and just not be fun. Alright, now that the interruption's gone, basically Roingo decks will still be able to go further and further and further as we keep going on and on and on, so there's no reason why Roingo decks won't be here. And obviously there is a huge chance that they'll be hit on the January ban list, where we'll see stuff like Roingo get banned, Gossip Shadow get banned, Mali getting banned, Armageddon getting banned. There's a high chance a lot of these cards that allow you to make Roingo will get banned, but until then, these decks that can make Roingo will be the best definitive deck. So these decks will show their potential and their power going further and further into the year. So Roingo decks will definitely have their power, they'll definitely be able to do a lot, and there's no reason why they wouldn't be really good on this list. So number 4 is definitely all manner of Roingo decks. But going into the big three, we have, first of all, Thunder Dragons. Now, Thunder Dragons going into the new year will definitely still be a powerful deck. The deck is very linear, as I keep telling people, and they still don't believe me because they're saying, just add different things. No, it's boring with the different things, but it's a deck that is still able to make its standard board of being able to make Titan, Colossus, and being a deck that can make two mistakes and a destruction card, and also these cards have built-in protection. It's a boring deck, and it's a deck that still really is powerful though. It's a deck that can basically OTK your opponent very easily, it can stop your opponent from playing the game, it can build a board of multiple things, and it's a deck that will always be able to do what it is, and it's in the big three, the triangle that I call this format. And it's a deck that will always be able to do this sort of rubbish, and it's a deck that will be able to do it good, and it's a deck that will do it nonetheless very easily. So no reason why this deck isn't going to be on here. So yeah, but number 3 goes to Thunder Dragons because they can just do everything that they're able to do, being able to combo off into a Colossus Titan board that says your opponent can't play the game, and just build a negate, and will build a destruction as well. Fairly easy and can get to it no matter what they do. But yeah, so that's number 3. Let's go on to number 2. So number 2, I personally feel like will be Sky Striker. Sky Striker is still obviously one of the best decks in the game. It's in the triangle, as I say. Being that it's a spell-based deck that just basically utilizes tons of different things such as Widow Anchor, Engage, Kagari, Hayate, and they're getting a new Link monster coming out soon. That is the Earth one. I don't know the exact effect. I believe it has something to do with negating. And it's just able to utilize so much going into the new year that there's no way this deck won't be one of the best decks, seeing as it's able to utilize cards like even stuff outside of that, like Foolish Burial of Goods, Terraforming, stuff to get to Engage, just cards that say I get to engage, and I'm not looking at the screen right now because my list is on my laptop and it turned off. But it's a deck that will basically be able to be good no matter what you do. It's very control-based, it's very link spam. It basically says, I'm going to stop you from playing the game, and I'm going to basically beat you down slowly. So it's a deck that will always have the potential to be really good. It's a deck that will always be really good. And if it's not hit on the next list, it will still be one of the best decks going into the new year, purely because it says, I'm controlling the game, I'm not going to let you play the game, and I'm going to win by saying you can't play the game. So Striker is definitely a deck that just has tons of resource management, tons of control, and tons of advantage built into it. So there's no reason why it's not on this list as well. But for number 1, the best deck that I personally feel like going into the new year, a lot of you have probably already guessed it, it's Otto Geist. Otto Geist, in my personal opinion, are just going to get better and better and better throughout the new year. We're getting the new Synchro monster in the XC set that basically says, I'm going to infinitely negate you with tribute effects and with battle effects with Konkuri, and I'm going to just not let you play the game. We're also getting a Snatch Steal-esque card in the set, which is a trap card that we can utilize in Summon Faker and take your monster to disrupt your plays. We're getting so much good support this year for traps. We're getting so many different things, and I'm always going to say it. It's the best deck in terms of playability, as long as you don't brick. Like, if you brick, you're done. 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 But if you don't brick, the deck is going to build a board of tons of traps that say you can't play a game, such as Floodgates, or Negates, or Hextia, and it's also going to be able to summon a Siliquise and a Faker to essentially stop you from playing the game. Plus, it's got the Impermanence Faker. It can evenly Faker. It can reboot Faker. Like, the deck has just so much going for it that it's a deck that, in my personal opinion, will always have its relevance and will always be very, very good. But guys, that's just my personal list of the 10 best decks going into the new year. I definitely feel like all guys are going to be the best, seeing as they're just able to do so much, being able to just stop your opponent from playing the game, being able to utilize cards that say you can't activate spell cards to beat Striker, being that it's a deck that can just stop your opponent from playing no matter what, and being that all of that as it may, I personally feel like it will be the best deck. But guys, what do you personally think? This list is my personal list. I feel like the triangle of Striker, Thunder Dragon, and Otto Geist is still going to be there, being a trap, monster, spell decks. And I still feel like all of these decks will have a big performance. And there's still other decks that could do really well in the year as well, such as Guard Dragons, such as Cyverse, with the new support they're getting. Like, all of these decks have their potential to go really, really far, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, guys, tell me what you thought of this list in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts, your opinions. Do you think I got anything right? Do you think I got anything wrong? Do you think any sort of cards are different? Do you think any decks on here should be different? Tell me all of that in the comment section below, because I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. But yeah, guys, don't forget to tell me that in the comment section below. Like the video if you liked the video or like the list. If you want to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content, don't forget to press the subscribe button to see more future content going into the new year. And if you want to be notified of any streams or videos that I upload to this channel, don't forget to press the notification button. I stream at 8 PM UK time on Thursdays. Also, guys, thank you all for a lovely year of Yu-Gi-Oh! Thanks for doing so much in this game for me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the new year. Rollback1, signing out. Later, guys. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and check out the links in the description for the previous video, and the link to my Facebook page where you can see previous videos that I've posted there, and any other information that I may have posted there. I hope to see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.